everyone. So we're going to look today at how to go about counting atoms. So when you're looking at a chemical formula, how to know what those little subscripts mean, or even big numbers in front. So we're going to go through all this. Okay, so there are just a few general rules here. So first of all, whenever you see the symbol of an element with no, and I'm talking about with no numbers whatsoever around it. So the symbol of an element itself represents one atom of that element. So for example, the symbol for sodium, this means that we have one atom of sodium. Okay, so it goes for anything. If I have a symbol for iron, this means one iron. If I have the symbol for, helium, this is one helium. This is one carbon. So the symbol itself represents one atom, okay? Now the small numbers, and we've seen this a bunch along the way, small numbers are called subscripts, okay? So it's always in the lower right-hand side of the element symbol. So whatever that number is indicates how many of that element that we have. So for example, H2 means we have 2 atoms of hydrogen, right? If I have O3, that means there are 3 atoms of oxygen. So also you can have more than one element together. So for example, if I had C6H12O6, right? The subscript is always for the element that it is on the lower right-hand side of. So this means I have 6 atoms of carbon. I have 12 atoms of hydrogen, and I have 6 atoms of oxygen, right? Now, you can have a combination, some with a subscript and some without. So, for example, if I had NH3, my nitrogen means that I have only one atom of it, since there's no number. Remember the symbol, going back to the first rule, the symbol automatically means 1. And then for hydrogen, I have 3 atoms because it has the subscript. So no subscript means 1 automatically. If there's a subscript, that means that tells you how many atoms you have for that particular element. Okay, so it's a subscript. Now, you're also going to start seeing subscripts that are with elements inside brackets. Okay, so how this works is the number that is outside of the bracket applies to the items that are inside the bracket. So for example, here I have Mg, P, and O. So because the 2 is outside of where phosphorus and oxygen are, that 2 only applies to them. It does not apply to magnesium. So how this works when you're counting atoms is essentially you multiply the outside subscript by the subscripts that are inside of the brackets. So let's take a look at this one in example. So magnesium is not impacted by the brackets. So this just simply is 3 atoms because the subscript is a 3. Okay. Phosphorus, however, has no number, which means 1 atom. But we're going to multiply that by the value outside of the subscripts. So phosphorus here had no number, so that's like a 1. We're going to multiply it by the value outside of the bracket. So in total, there are 2 atoms of phosphorus. Now, oxygen has a subscript, which is the number 4, and that also gets multiplied by 2. So in total, there are 8 atoms of oxygen. Okay, so let's look at another example here. So let's say I had, okay, so I have aluminum, sulfur, and oxygen. So aluminum, and actually you can pause the video and give this a try. So see how many aluminum, how many sulfur, how many oxygens there are. Okay. So your aluminum here, you should have a total of 2, and that's simply because that is what the subscript is. Now the 3 outside the brackets only applies to the elements that are inside. So sulfur is 1 times 3, which is 3 atoms total. And then oxygen is 4 times 3, which is going to be 12 atoms. Okay. Now, if you're asked to solve for the total number of atoms, all you would do, why put totals? Okay, all you would do is add up all of them. So you'd have 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 12, which is 17 atoms. Okay. All right, so now the last rule is really coming into play with something called a coefficient. So a coefficient is a number, not a subscript in the corner of the value, but it's actually a big number that is written in front of a chemical symbol. So this works the same way in that it's being multiplied, but the value in front gets multiplied by everything that it is in front of. So in this case, carbon, right? So just carbon by itself means a 1. But with the 3, this is essentially 1 times 3, which is 3 atoms in total. Okay. Now, a lot of times students ask, well, what's the difference between, what if it says 2C or C with a 2? So technically, these are both 2 atoms. Okay, but I'm going to show you what a subscript means compared to what a coefficient means. So this is a subscript. This is a coefficient. Okay, so a subscript tells you how many atoms are actually chemically connected in that particle. So if I had C with a subscript 2, what that would mean is there are 2 carbons that are connected to each other. This is like C and a C. Okay? Now if I have a coefficient of 2 with the C, which is 1, that means I have 2 individual C's. Okay? So I'll give you another example similar to that. So let's say I had 4, and I'm just going to make something up, 4 phosphorus, or phosphorus with a 4. Both of these are 4 atoms, except this is 4 individual atoms. This is 4 atoms that are chemically actually connected into a particle. Okay? Now, you can also have a coefficient in front of this. So here I have P4, but now I have 2 of them. So that's really like as if I have this, and imagine these are all connected. So in total, I would have here 8 atoms. So the coefficient is multiplied by everything that it is in front of. So that would be the difference between a coefficient, right, saying that there are 2 of them, but the subscript tells you how many are clustered together. Okay, so let's go back to here for a second. So coefficient is the number in front of a chemical formula that indicates the number of molecules of that compound. Okay, so here's a note. The coefficient multiplies by the number of atoms of each element in that formula. So 2, let me just write this bigger, 2 H2O. This 2 applies to the hydrogen and the oxygen. So it's like multiplying. So this would be, your hydrogen would be 2 times 2, which is 4 atoms, right? Your oxygen would be 2 times 1, which is just 2 atoms. Okay, same thing here. The 3 would apply to copper, sulfur, and oxygen. You would just multiply that. So let me just answer that one here. So for your copper, it would be 3 times 1, which is 3 atoms, right? Sulfur would be 3 times 1 again, which is 3 atoms. And then oxygen would be 3 times 4, which would be 12 atoms. Okay, so let's take a look at that very last one. I'm just going to make some room here. Okay, I'll do it in a different color just to kind of emphasize this. Okay, so this is as difficult as counting elements is going to get here. So we have actually everything going on. We have brackets, and we have numbers, and we have coefficients. So remember that the 2 applies to everything that is in the bracket, but the 4 applies to every element in this molecule. So it's like you're applying both values. So lead is not in the brackets, so actually it only gets the 4 applied. Remember, there's no subscript, so it's like 4 times 1. So there's 4 atoms of lead. Okay, nitrogen would be 1 times 2, but then also times 4. So it'd be like saying 1 times 2 times 4, which would then be 8 atoms. Okay, and then oxygen would be 3 times 2 times 4. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So 3 times 2 times 4 is 24 atoms. Okay, so those are essentially the rules. Now there is a worksheet that you're going to be doing here, but I just want to clear up one thing because everyone gets kind of confused with this one. I believe this was, I can't remember the exact example, but actually, let me try. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to show you something. I don't know if it's the exact example, but it's something similar to this, okay? So there's going to be a chart that you're filling out. And it's going to have like element, something like this. Element and then like the number of atoms. So if an element is showing up twice, you basically will add them together. So here, this would be like hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and then the last column, row, I think is done for you. It says total. So hydrogen does not have to be written twice, right? So here, this would be like a 1 plus the 3. So this would be 4 total. Carbon is at 2, oxygen is at 2, and then you would add these all up for the total number of atoms. So basically, if an element shows up more than once in your formula, just write in all of that single element. Don't write hydrogen, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Just put all of that element under one row while you're doing this.